Borrow Smart segment brought to you by the National Institute of Financial Education. Love our affiliation with the Institute. Trying to get financial literacy, get the word spread. How a debt management plan can impact your FICO scores. Debt management plans are intended to help you get out of credit card debt, but because you're not paying back the debt as you originally agreed, you may be wondering how your FICO scores may be impacted. Now, I am talking FICO scores, not credit scores, not Credit Karma scores, not Vantage scores, not Credit Sesame scores, not FACO scores, FICO scores. All in all, the pros of debt management plans often outweigh the cons, but understanding the relationship between a debt management plan and your FICO scores can help you determine whether it's the right move for you. Will a debt management plan hurt my credit score? The fact that you are working with a credit counselor or getting on the debt management plan won't directly impact your credit score. While you'll make your monthly payments to the credit counseling agency under such a plan, it isn't a debt collector, so there are no new credit accounts being added to your credit reports. Additionally, while individual creditors may add a notation to the trade line on your credit report that you're enrolled in a debt management plan, that comment isn't considered negative when a FICO score is calculated. That said, other creditors can see the notation and it may influence their decision whether or not to extend credit to you. But while a debt management plan won't directly impact your FICO scores, you may experience some indirect consequences due to how these plans are structured. Payment history. If you're already behind on payments, those missed payments may have already done some damage to your FICO scores. But once you get on a debt management plan, you may find your payments to be more affordable, which can help you reestablish a positive payment history. In some cases, your creditors may even offer to re-age your accounts and update the status to current instead of past due, which could help improve your FICO scores. And because your payment history is the most influential factor in your FICO scores, a debt management plan can help boost your score. Credit utilization ratio. Credit counseling agencies may require you to close the credit card accounts that you're concluding in your debt management plan, which can significantly reduce your available credit without getting rid of the balances. This can impact your FICO scores because the score still considers balances and other negative information on your accounts with a closed status. The result is that your credit utilization ratio could immediately spike. That said, closing the account also means that you can't add more debt. So as you work to pay down your balance, your utilization ratio will decrease along with it, helping your FICO scores recover. Length of credit history. If you close an old account, the details remain on your credit reports for up to 10 years, but it can negatively affect your length of credit history, which incorporates how long your accounts have been open, the average age of your accounts, and other factors. That said, your length of credit history only makes up about 15% of your FICO score, so your payment history and credit utilization ratios are far more important. Are the potential credit issues worth it? Unlike debt settlement, which can remain on your credit reports for up to 7 years, and bankruptcy, which can stay on your report for up to 10 years, there are no long-term negative credit consequences to debt management plan as long as you stick to the agreed-upon payment plan. As a result, the benefit of getting some relief with your interest rates and monthly payments likely outweighs the short-term negative impact on your FICO scores. In fact, you may not even need to use your FICO scores during that period of time, as credit counseling agencies generally recommend that you avoid applying for new credit accounts, particularly credit cards, while you're on a debt management plan. So if you're struggling to keep up with your payments on your credit cards, your credit isn't good enough for a balance transfer card or debt consolidation loan, and you want to avoid debt settlement and bankruptcy, a debt management plan can be well worth it. Bottom line, a debt management plan can temporarily negatively impact your FICO scores, but in the long run, obtaining a form of debt relief and paying off your balances over time can have a much more significant positive impact on your finances. If you're considering a debt management plan, consult with a credit counselor to see if it's right for you. You can find nonprofit credit counselings through the National Foundation for Credit Counseling or the Financial Counseling Association of America. And hey, don't forget creditsanitizer.com, creditsanitizer.com. If you're thinking about going through credit counseling, you may want to get engaged with our friends at creditsanitizer.com. If you remember, I think earlier this week we had Robert Houston came on. Might have been last week, but he was talking about their service, $299 one-time fee, and they'll work, I think, for a year on getting the items that need to be disputed, and making sure that your credit report is following the law. Following the law. That's the Borrow Smart segment brought to you by the National Institute of Financial Education. Again, if you have questions on credit, give me a call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990.